What if I told you that every ounce of stress, anxiety, and exhaustion you carry right now isn't coming from your life, but from your reactions to it? What if the secret to unshakable peace isn't changing your circumstances, but mastering the half second between a trigger and your response? Right now, your mind is being hijacked by invisible reflexes. Every notification, every comment, every unexpected twist pulls you into a storm you didn't create but keep fueling. But what if you could step out of the storm? What if you could watch chaos unfold and remain completely, dangerously calm? Not numb, not detached, but so grounded that nothing outside you dictates what happens inside you. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to shut down the reaction cycle, reclaim your nervous system, and build a mind so still it becomes your greatest weapon. This isn't theory, this is mental sovereignty, and it starts the moment you decide no more automatic responses, no more borrowed stress, just pure unbreakable calm. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll never look at a trigger the same way again. You've been conditioned to believe that caring means reacting, that strength means pushing back, that silence means weakness. But the truth is brutal. Every time you react, you hand your power to something outside yourself. You let a stranger's tone dictate your mood. You let a delayed message ruin your day. You let a problem that hasn't even happened yet steal your sleep. That's not living. That's being remotely controlled. The moment you stop reacting, you cut the strings. You don't suppress emotion. You observe it. You let it rise, you let it peak, and you let it pass without handing it the steering wheel. Breathe in, count to 3. Watch the impulse like a wave hitting the shore. It will crash. It will recede. And you remain. This is how you train a calm mind, not by avoiding life, but by refusing to be dragged by it. Stress doesn't live in events. It lives in your attachment to how things should be. Drop the attachment. Keep the awareness. When you stop fighting reality, reality stops fighting you. You'll notice something shift. Your shoulders drop. Your breath deepens. Your thoughts stop racing because you're no longer feeding them fuel. People will test you. Circumstances will pressure you. The world will keep throwing matches, but you don't have to catch them. Let them fall. Let them burn out on the ground. Your peace is not negotiable. Your mind is not a public forum. Guard the gate. Train the pause. Own the space between stimulus and response. That space is your throne. Sit in it. Breathe from it. Rule from it. This is the end of borrowed stress. This is the beginning of unshakable calm. You now hold the key to a mind that doesn't break under pressure, but bends, adapts, and remains still while everything else shakes. Walk forward with that stillness. Let it be your armor, your compass, your quiet rebellion against a world addicted to chaos. Good luck on your journey to mastery. Thank you for listening, for staying present, and for choosing peace over reaction. The calm you seek has been inside you all along. Now go live like it. What if everything you've been taught about handling stress is completely backwards? What if the real battle isn't out there, but in the half second between what happens to you and how you choose to respond? Most people spend their lives fighting reality, exhausting themselves trying to control the uncontrollable, only to wake up drained, anxious, and reactive. But what if you could step outside that cycle entirely? What if the secret to unshakable peace isn't in changing your circumstances, but in mastering your nervous system's automatic pilot? Imagine walking into chaos, hearing the insults, feeling the pressure, watching everything fall apart, and instead of breaking, you simply breathe, observe, and let it pass through you like wind through an open window. No resistance, no explosion, just quiet, unbreakable presence. This isn't about becoming emotionless, it's about becoming untouchable. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover will permanently rewire how you face pressure, conflict, and fear. The power gap. Between every trigger and your response exists a silent space. Mastering that gap is where freedom begins. Reaction is leakage. Every impulsive reply, defensive outburst, or anxious spiral drains vital energy. Non-reaction conserves and redirects it. Stress is resistance. Suffering doesn't come from events, but from arguing with reality. Acceptance dissolves tension instantly. The nervous system. Reset. Calm is physiological before it is psychological. Controlled breathing and grounded posture rewire panic into presence. Triggers as teachers. What irritates you reveals unhealed attachments. Observation without action transforms enemies into mirrors. Discipline over motivation. A calm mind isn't inherited. It's forged through daily repetition of stillness, breath, and conscious non-engagement. Master Shi Heng Yi. Detailed explanation. Approximately 400 words. Master Shi Heng Yi stands as one of the most influential modern interpreters of ancient Shaolin wisdom, bridging centuries-old monastic discipline with the psychological realities of contemporary life. Born in Poland and later ordained within the rigorous lineage of Chinese Chan Buddhism and Shaolin martial tradition, he has dedicated decades to decoding the architecture of human suffering and offering a direct, unfiltered path to inner sovereignty. His teachings are not rooted in spiritual escapism or passive detachment, but in conscious, embodied engagement with life's inevitable friction. At the core of his philosophy is the principle of non-resistance, the radical practice of observing thoughts, emotions, and external chaos without immediately feeding them with reaction. He teaches that the human nervous system has been conditioned to treat every minor provocation as a survival threat, trapping individuals in a perpetual cycle of stress, defensiveness, and exhaustion. Through breath regulation, stillness training, and mindful movement, he demonstrates how practitioners can consciously downregulate their stress response, transforming panic into clarity and reactivity into strategic presence. What makes his approach uniquely powerful is its uncompromising practicality. He strips away mystical language and replaces it with direct, actionable insights that challenge the ego's illusion of control. He frequently emphasizes that discipline is not self-punishment, but profound self-respect, and that every moment of frustration is an invitation to deepen awareness rather than escalate conflict. His viral teachings and global retreats have resonated deeply with millions struggling with modern anxiety, digital overload, and emotional volatility, precisely because he does not promise a life without storms. Instead, he trains people to become the eye of the storm. By aligning physical posture, breath rhythm, and mental observation, he reveals that peace is not found in perfect circumstances, but in the unwavering mastery of one's internal response. His life's work is a living testament to the truth that the battlefield is never outside, but within, and true victory belongs to those who learn to stand still while the world spins. The moment you stop feeding your triggers with immediate reaction, you starve the illusion of suffering. You think stress is caused by the world, but stress is actually caused by your refusal to accept the world as it is. Every angry word you swallow, every panic you feed, every desperate attempt to fix what isn't yours to fix, it all compounds into invisible weight. But the mind is not a victim. It is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows through deliberate tension and release. When someone pushes you, your instinct screams to push back. That instinct is not wisdom, it is programming. Break the program. Sit in the fire without burning. Watch the storm without becoming the rain. You will realize that the loudest voices in your life are only loud because you keep handing them your attention. Take it back. Breathe into the gap. Let the moment pass through you without attaching your identity to it. The more you practice non-reaction, the more the world loses its power to dictate your inner weather. You don't need to escape life to find peace. You just need to stop arguing with it. What if everything you've been taught about stress is a lie? What if the chaos in your life isn't coming from your boss, your bills, your relationships, or the world around you, but from a single invisible habit you repeat hundreds of times a day without even noticing? You don't collapse under pressure. You collapse under your own reactions. Every time something triggers you, your nervous system hijacks your mind, your breath shortens, your thoughts spiral, and you hand over your peace like it's worthless. But here's the shocking truth. The event itself carries zero emotional weight until you assign it one. An insult is just sound waves. A deadline is just a date. A betrayal is just a shift in someone else's behavior. The pain? That's your reaction echoing back at you. Most people live like emotional pinballs, bouncing from trigger to trigger, convinced they're handling life when they're actually being handled by it. Real power doesn't come from controlling what happens to you. It comes from mastering the space between what happens and how you respond. That space is microscopic, but it's where empires of the mind are built. When you stop reacting, you stop feeding the fire. When you pause, you reclaim your nervous system. When you breathe instead of blow up, you rewire your brain for unshakable calm. This isn't about suppression, it's about sovereignty. It's about watching the storm rage while your inner ground remains dry. You've been trained to believe that caring means reacting, that passion means intensity, that strength means pushing back. But what if true strength is the ability to stand in the hurricane and not move? What if the most dangerous person in any room is the one who cannot be provoked? Every time you choose stillness over impulse, you steal power back from chaos. Every time you let a trigger pass through you like wind through an open window, you prove that you are no longer a slave to your own wiring. The world will keep throwing matches. You don't have to keep catching them. Let them fall. Let them burn out. Your mind is not a battlefield. It's a sanctuary. And the moment you stop reacting is the moment you finally start living completely free. True mastery is never about controlling the external world. It is about claiming absolute sovereignty over your internal response. When you stop reacting, you stop leaking energy. When you stop resisting, you stop suffering. The calm mind is not born from perfect circumstances, but from relentless self-awareness. Train the pause, honor the breath. Let the chaos move around you while you remain the unmoving center. Peace is not given, it is forged. Thank you for your time, your focus, and your willingness to do the inner work. May your days be grounded, your mind be clear, and your presence be unshakable. Good luck on your journey to mastery. Real power doesn't come from controlling what happens to you. It comes from mastering the space between what happens and how you respond. That space is microscopic, but it's where empires of the mind are built. When you stop reacting, you stop feeding the fire. When you pause, you reclaim your nervous system. When you breathe instead of blow up, you rewire your brain for unshakable calm. This isn't about suppression, it's about sovereignty. It's about watching the storm rage while your inner ground remains dry. You've been trained to believe that caring means reacting, that passion means intensity, that strength means pushing back. But what if true strength is the ability to stand in the hurricane and not move? What if the most dangerous person in any room is the one who cannot be provoked? Every time you choose stillness over impulse, you steal power back from chaos. Every time you let a trigger pass through you like wind through an open window, you prove that you are no longer a slave to your own wiring. The world will keep throwing matches. You don't have to keep catching them. Let them fall. Let them burn out. Your mind is not a battlefield. It's a sanctuary. And the moment you stop reacting is the moment you finally start living completely free. True mastery is never about controlling the external world. It is about claiming absolute sovereignty over your internal response. When you stop reacting, you stop leaking energy. When you stop resisting, you stop suffering. The calm mind is not born from perfect circumstances, but from relentless self-awareness. Train the pause, honor the breath, Let the chaos move around you while you remain the unmoving center. Peace is not given, it is forged.